Make sure you clean that nice bucket out before you start doing anything.
I can what?
That bucket out before you do anything.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Try to keep the buckets nice and clean.
Bring 2 cans in real quick.
Yeah. Good idea. Okie dokie. These chunks. It's like I want to put it in there, but I can't. Just can't do it. Get the right color here. No. How are these smashed up like this? Oh my word.
Start mixing another batch.
Yeah.
2 bags.
Mm-hmm.
Best brick I've ever laid right there. Probably raised it at the same speed that you run yours at.
I bet. I just wish they followed the line. Like this one, like why don't they look consistent to the line? When I look over there, I can tell they're not consistent to the line. Okay, so we're at the point where we're gonna put our damper on and start the smoke chamber. Just want to go over a couple points while we're here before I bury all this stuff. Couple important dimensions. This is the interior framing. Our masonry is gonna have to be 2 inches away from there. I had the carpenters go a little bit more. A little more is better. 2 1/4 is fine. This one's actually 2 1/2. The drywall on the inside can actually butt the brickwork. And then the plywood on the outside can actually butt the brickwork. There's no reason to really butt the brickwork with the plywood. You could probably leave a 1/4 inch or so just so it's not touching the brickwork, but you can butt on the sides with your sheathing. So we have our 2 inches there, and then another important thing is when we put this damper on, I'm just gonna show you, this is the very top of the firebox, and I've taken this brickwork and I've parged it all with refractory mortar. And so this is the other important dimension here. So we need a minimum of 8 inches before we set our damper on. So we have to keep going up with our firebox until we can get a minimum of 8 inches from the bottom of our lintel to where the damper starts. So I actually have a little better than 10 inches here. That's pretty good. And you could put your damper right on like this, but I'm not going to do that because it's metal and it will expand when it gets heat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install it with some insulation. So this is super wool insulation. So it's got like a really high fire rating. You're not going to, I don't know, 25 or 300 or 3,000 degrees, 2,500 degrees plus. So I like to put this stuff under my damper. I'll just show you how I do it. Put it like that. Let me just do it like this. Okay. So now the damper will sit right on here, right on the insulation. And I'm not gonna go all the way tight to this brickwork in the front. Get this gap here. There's a gap here. I like to leave like a 1/2 inch gap right there. And then that will also be filled with insulation in here, just to give this room to expand and contract. And then I've got a piece that needs to go under the back. So let me just put this piece under too. This piece will go here. So just like that. I'm not going to use any mortar or anything to pull that in. I'll cut the excess off in a minute. I'm not going to use anything to mortar this in. So I got my gap, find where the brick is on both sides, need to go that way. Okay, perfect. So now this insulation will actually go right up onto the sides like this. And I won't have any mortar or brickwork touching this. It's free to move, which you know, I think is important. It's not something that you have to do. It's not required by code. It's just something that I think is smart to do, just so this has room to move. This damper is actually, if you check the number out here, you see the number, it's a number 33 or 33-inch Vestal damper. So the Firebox is 36 inches wide, and I get a 33-inch damper, which means that the inside here is gonna be 33 inches. And so it makes the outside 36 inches. If you were to get a 36-inch damper, it would be a little bigger, and it's just a little too big for a 3-foot Firebox, in my opinion. I really like to use the 33, and that gives me a little bit more room when I start my brickwork on the sides for my smoke chamber. Okay, so that's where we are now. I'm gonna start the smoke chamber and start tapering it back. I have to taper the smoke chamber. You can see this wall here. Well, that wall, I have to be 1 inch off of that wall when I get up there. And, you know, with my brickwork, that all ends up on that side. So you can see that I've got a lot of work to do to get this wall back there. So I've got about to this height here, that's gonna be my mantle height. And so I've got from where the brick is here, at the height I'm at now, to this point that I have to step all this back and get to that side. So it has to happen pretty quick. So that's where I am now. I'm gonna put the GoPro back on and keep going. You might be able to hang it like right there, pointed into here. The drop light right behind you. Yeah, that one. All right, that's pretty much it. Now we'll wait for this to harden up for a couple minutes. And you want to sponge it? Just use that wet sponge and smooth it out. No, all this in here. Wet the sponge and smooth it all out. Okay, here we are, another rainy day. Every day getting rained out or 95 degrees and too hot to really work. It's been like a miserable stretch of weather trying to get a whole day into work. But so I just wanted to walk you through. This is an idea I've had for a smoke chamber for a while, and I've done it on a few fireplaces. And basically, I'm just taking two 13 by 18 flues and I'm cutting it into a smoke chamber. So I'm just going to show you. Let me take this off and show you how it looks. It's close. This isn't actually set yet. Here, let me just pull it back. Okay. So I'm just getting ready to lay this together with some refractory mortar. But these two 13 by 18 flues, I cut them and they'll taper into that 13 by 13 flue, which is perfect size flue for the fireplace. When you take a look at the smoke chamber real quick. So the smoke chamber is all parged up with refractory, and I'm still working on, actually I gotta clean that up a little bit now that I dropped mortar all over it. But there's a, look down here please, straight down. So at the bottom, this is the smoke shelf, and then this just kind of rolls into the back. So it's a little bit of a roll. This is what the back of your cast iron damper looks like when it's open. And you can see the insulation all around it, so we're not touching with anything. But the whole idea of the cast iron damper is that when it's partially open or when it's fully open, and the combination between the damper and the smoke chamber are, if you get like a big downdraft of wind that comes, it will come down and it will hit off your smoke shelf, and it will bounce off this door and direct back up the chimney. So it's pretty important to have like a cast iron damper plate like this, as opposed to trying to just, some people would remove that plate and put like an energy top damper on, which is not really a good thing, because then you're not protected against downdrafts at the same time. Now you could put one in combination with each other and use them both, but most people don't do that. They rip a damper out, or if they were building a fireplace at all, you know, without a damper, it wouldn't be a good idea. So anyhow, I just have to refractory cement this together, and then I had to build this up with a little bit of mortar, so I'm at the same height as my brick, because my block work is going to start coming behind here, and it's going to come straight up, and I'm going to be 1 inch away from that wall. So because, here, back to you, because now I have this, actually I have to be 6 inches thick, so my brick would be here, and I still have to have a solid 6 inches from the face of that, because I have this flue lining. So this would give me enough room to come up through here, and I'll be 6 inches solid all the way, right? And then when I get into my flue, I don't have to worry about being the 6 inches solid anymore, because now I'm into a solid flue without seams like this. And then I only have to be 1 inch off of here. And then I just set my regular flue piece where you saw it. I had it cut for the angle. That's it. That's where I am. Gonna keep going. in the rain.